I realize, of course, that I'm in this room with a lot of people from education. Now, I've had a very complicated relationship with teachers. They didn't like me much and I didn't like them. And I have a feeling that karma has just come and bitten me in the bum. Because I'm sitting in this room with all of you guys, and it's a very confusing time for me. Because you've spoken a lot about very good things, in fact. I mean, things I can't refute or argue. But so, I honestly can't talk about education because I know nothing of it, also because I pretty much almost sort of failed, right? But I can talk about a few other things. I'm going to tell you a story because that's something that I'm fairly good at. There's someone in this room that I'd like you to meet. And you've possibly all met this person yesterday. There's this lady sitting right there. If you turn around, she's in a red sari, I believe. Yeah, that's my mom. She's a very friendly person on most times. She's just not friendly with me. But on most days, she's quite friendly and she's possibly come and said hello to you. My mom on social media was quite funny. When Facebook had just come in and everyone was using Facebook, she thought that, do you remember this like button on Facebook, right? And she was under the impression that if you clicked hard on the button, it meant that you liked the posts. Which is a fairly logical thing to think I would, for a lady her age. Now back then, this is what a feed looked like. Okay, and this is going to be wildly embarrassing for which is exactly why I'm doing it. Now she's at some conference that no one cares about. The kind of likes that she gets is about 21. Obviously, no one cares what conference you're in. The second one, she's meeting some people who, again, no one knows of, right? The third one, it's just like, it's very, very vague. But she's a resilient woman, I'll give her that. Because what she did was, she saw other people's feeds, right? She learned. And in the months, what she did was, she picked up. She realized, okay, what can I pick up from other people's feeds? How is it relevant? And this is what she did. She realized that everything was a story. If you broke down everything, all the pictures, all the texts, everything was a story that people were trying to tell. And inherently, the stories were the ones that got the likes. The stories were the ones that got shared. The stories were the ones that got people engaged. So, what do people like? What are stories? The ancient, age-old stories that we've been hearing from when we were children. What are the stories made up of? Very, very, very simple things. Children, cats, dogs, curious stuff, humor, love. Now if you go onto YouTube, if you go onto Facebook, what are the kind of things that you're engaged with? What is the kind of content? As you as a person, you don't have to be an educator to know this, right? You see a cat video, what do? You click like, love. Something about a child, so cute! Isn't that what you do? You do that because our brains are wired because of that. Ever since we were kids, our brains have been wired to like cute things, to like stories, the ability to tell stories. So, here's what she did. She understood that the greatest stories of all time were about dogs, cats, children, curious stuff, right? And then what she did was this sneaky woman, she started arranging her content and curating her content in a certain way. Just look at this. Look at the engagement that she gets. That's my nephew. Okay, he's cute as a button. 356 likes from 24 likes. That's my sister. She's a journalist. 59 comments. Look at that engagement. Where's Matthew? Is he here? There you are, hi. You remember this picture was taken yesterday? How do you feel being violated like this? See, this is the kind of content she puts out right now, and that's the kind of engagement that she gets, right? And there's something, I feel that there's something to be learned here. We have a competition now. We've reached that stage where we have a competition. I put out content, she puts out content, and more often than not, my content doesn't do so well when I compare my content with hers, which is unfathomable because I honestly believe my content is way better than her content. But that's all right. I mean, I keep blaming the Facebook algorithm, the fact that it's changed, and it has changed. Now, here's the point, right? Why am I talking about her? I have 5 minutes left.
What are you going to focus on?
Okay. Yeah. So what is 58, 59, whatever year old woman have to do with why I'm here and what I'm about to talk to you about? What does she have to do with social media that you could learn, that I could learn, that everyone sitting in this audience today can learn? Here is it. When you are a part of a school, right? Being on social media is not optional. It's mandatory. It's essential. And I'll tell you why. I have a daughter, she's about 8 years old, she's going to turn 8 in November. I remember when we were talking about which school that we should put her in. We actually started talking about it when she was about a year, 2 years old, and we started scouting the internet to see what other parents were talking about, right? And the schools that popped up were the schools that existing parents were talking about. Now imagine if a school was on social media then. My daughter goes to a school called Kunskapsskolan. Say the word, Kunskaps. How many of you can even pronounce it? Kunskapsskolan. It's a Swedish school. We loved it simply because the parents told us that the system of education was very engaging. There were no grades, there were no exams, and I inherently, being someone who barely sort of made it alive out of school, inherently liked that concept, right? And so I checked out the school on social media. I checked out what they were doing, and I'm sure millions of other parents are doing that right now. As I am on the stage speaking, I'm sure millions of parents are doing that right now. So, which means what? Which means that if you are part of a school, if you are a teacher, if you are an educator, if you're a principal, if you're a director, you should try. It's not difficult, it's not extremely easy either, but you should try to get your team, to get your marketing team to invest in a team that can look after social media, to continuously engage people, to tell the world what your principles are about, what you're doing, right? And there's this whole misconception that, and I've had this misconception that teachers are inherently boring people, and they're very stern. And there's reason for me to believe that because my teachers were. They weren't human. I look around this room and everyone's a human here. Everyone's laughing. Everyone's having a drink. Teachers don't drink. Teachers don't abuse. Teachers don't do any of these silly things, right? It's only the rest of them that do. Okay. So mistake is that, and I've spoken to a lot of teachers and educators who say that, why should we get on social media? What is in it for us? And the posts that we publish inherently become boring posts. Because if your character is inherently boring, if you think that your character is inherently boring, then the posts that you put out are going to be boring. The teachers aren't, it seems, boring at all. This was a moment captured yesterday. It doesn't look like a boring bunch of people. This was live on my Instagram yesterday. Killing it. Killing it. A bunch of teenagers. Awesome! The energy that was there in this room was brilliant. Now, every education institute has its own personality, right? You can't take that away. Every institute has its own personality. What is a personality? It's an extension of a person. That's it. Every person sitting here has their own personality, just like every education institute has their own personality. The more we talk like a person, the more engaged we can be, right? And don't talk like a company. I've spoken to people and said, but we are a school, we should be prim and proper. Well, guess what? If you're prim and proper, there's not going to be any engagement at all. What happens with engagement? It's very simple, it's just business. The more engaged you are as a community, the more approachable you are. People come to you, people talk to you, people have two-sided conversations with you. It's just not a one-sided conversation, because that could be a 2-minute... and the more approachable you are, what happens? Admissions go up. Obviously. That's bound to happen. It's business. Doing that is not difficult. It's not difficult at all. All of us are doing that right now. All of us are, how many of us are on Instagram? Raise your hands. How many of us are on Facebook? The whole room. How many of you know the new applications that Facebook rolls out pretty much almost every day? How many of you are updated with technology? See, but the thing is, nor am I, right? But there's nothing that we can't continuously learn, right? We're at an age right now, in the digital age, where we have no business of not knowing. We don't have the luxury of not knowing and staying comfortable in a cocoon, thinking, that's all right, I don't need to be a part of that. You don't need to be a part of that, but you need to know. That's all. And simply put, if she can do it, mother of two, there's absolutely no reason that education institutes can't, right? There's no reason why they can't. She started from nowhere, and she has a pretty decent following right now. She also has a cat, which is, if you remember one of my slides, cat was a very engaging thing in the whole community business and how to get more engaging posts. But if you have a cat, how many of you have a cat? How many of you like cats? Great. So if you have a cat, okay, see, I have nothing substantial to say, but I somehow made it through the presentation. Yeah? I somehow made a sort of like a semblance of a point, and I've stuck true to my first line. Thank you very much.
May I please request Vanya ma'am to felicitate Bodhi?
Can I write stories? Of course I can write stories. Of course I can. That's what I do for a living.
So now that's what he does. He can write your story, and that's where he can help you. School is nothing but a story. Education is nothing but relationship. And relationship is nothing but a journey from personal self to social self. And that's where Bodhi can help you move. From the school persona to a school for the society, for the social space. Best of luck. Well done.
Thank you.